That's a genius name. I mean, your last name is Duty. Duty's Daggers makes perfect sense.
Hey, 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 you're watching Duty's Daggers. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. We have a knife review today of this absolutely wicked looking little knife here. That's not little, but you know. Yeah, we're going to do a full review on it. Tell you what I think. This is a new knife from Vosteed. First of all, if you haven't subscribed, do it right now. Follow me on Instagram, duties_daggers. I'm telling you, do it. Also, consider becoming a channel member. It's the lowest tier is $3 a month, and you get access to some perks. You get one video per week that comes out on Saturday that only the members can view. Only members can see it. I just finished filming the one for this week, and it turned out really good. It's kind of like a follow me around for the day kind of video, vlog style. So consider becoming a channel member. I really appreciate it. And if you can't or don't want to, just watch the video. Push the like button, comment. That's all I need. So, yeah, this is the new Vosteed Valkyrie. Really cool knife. You know, Vosteed has come out with a few models now. They're a relatively new knife designer slash maker. I don't think they make their knives. I think they're overseas manufactured, but they're designed. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I don't even know if they are designed here, but it doesn't matter because they're awesome. Every single knife they've come out with so far has immediately sold out. So that kind of tells you something. People are really liking these. This one is sold out at the moment, but they will come back. And they actually just released another new model called the Labrador. That's not really my jam, but it is available. I'm going to link Vosteed down below so you can go take a look and see if they're back in stock. So let's measure this guy right off the bat here. I gotta stop saying that. I hate when people say right off the bat, but I do it myself. We are looking at 3¼ inch on the blade length. The actual cutting edge is right at 2 7/8. Overall, we have 7 5/8, and the closed length is 4 3/8. It's a big knife. Let's do some size comparisons. Let's do the Benchmade Griptilian, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. A little smaller than both those guys. Then let's do the classics Ontario Rat Model 2 in D2, or R2D2, Civivi Elementum, bigger than those guys. And then let's do a few of some fellow button locks. The CJRB Pyrite and the Kaiser, Cormorant. There you go. So this is kind of similar to the Cormorant in that it has the same deployment methods. This one has thumb studs rather than a cutout, but you can see we have regular flippers, we have front flippers, and the buttons actually look pretty similar. They kind of look a little similar overall. I mean, not really, but you know, kind of similar, right? Both black blades. That's about where the similarities end. Kind of this little cutout right here is a little similar. So that's a little interesting. I didn't even think of that. So, let's talk about the construction of this thing. But first, I forgot, we got to measure our thickness behind the edge because we're doing that now in every review. Just to give you a frame of reference, the Civivi Elementum is 20 thousandths behind the edge. The Civivi Baby Banter is right around 17 thousandths behind the edge, almost maybe 16 thousandths behind the edge. The new thinnest behind the edge in my collection is the Civivi McKenna at 12 thousandths behind the edge. Very thin. Then on the thicker side, we've got the Benchmade Griptilian, which is right around 27. So that's the other end of the spectrum. 27 is very thick. So let's see what we got on the Valkyrie. We'll take a measurement down at the base. And we have 15 thousandths. Wow. Towards the middle, we have 16. All right. This is very thin. Then at the tip, 15 again. Wow. This is very thin. This is like baby banter thin. Wow. I knew it was thin. I was not expecting it to be quite that thin. That is pretty awesome. So I opened up a few packages with this the other day, and this blade shape, man, absolutely destroys packages. They call this blade shape the Seax, which comes from the Viking Seax swords, I guess, or knives. So I haven't seen a Seax blade shape on a folder before, which is the main reason why I bought this knife. It's just a really unique blade shape, you know. It has a low tip and relatively straight edge, like you'd see on a sheep's foot or a Wharncliffe, but you have a much more aggressive tip here, which is kind of cool. It kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You know, you have a low tip, but you also have a very fine tip, very pointy tip for piercing sort of tasks. And then you have this sort of almost like harpoon notch up here for your thumb. So this is a really unique blade, super unique blade. I think it just looks absolutely wicked. I got the blacked out version. There are a few versions with satin or black blades. There's a couple different colors of G10. They do not come in my Carta, however, just different G10s. So yeah, we got the black G10. We have a really nice pocket clip. I love this pocket clip. It is very close to the scale. You can see that it really doesn't pop out very much. I mean, compared to a Kaiser clip, let's look at the difference. You can see the Kaiser clip is pretty substantially coming off the surface of the scale, while the Valkyrie clip is very close to the scale. So ergonomically, that's great. I absolutely do not feel it one bit. It's like it's not even there. It is inset with flat-headed screws, this clip has to be that way, or else there would almost be not enough space in there for your seam. But since it is inset with flat-headed screws, it's not a problem. It goes in and out of your pocket just fine. We have a little bit of an upsweep here, so you can get it in your pocket easily. It works really good, man. I really like this clip. It's deep carry, and it's reversible. There's a little cutout there for the lefties. You can also have it inset on the left-handed side. Kind of an interesting pivot. I really like it. It's not too flashy, but it's kind of subtly interesting, you know? It's like that on both sides. I think that's a nice little touch. The handle is pretty rectangular, but it does swell out towards the butt here, which kind of helps you feel a little more locked in. You know, it doesn't feel like you're going to slide off the back of the knife while you're using it. A little bit of a cutout here, which is for the thumb stud access. You know, they cut that out so they could have the thumb stud right there. But it does kind of help ergonomically. If you're choked back, your pointer finger rests right in there. And we have a choke up spot. So you can go above the flipper tab, stick your pointer finger up there. Middle finger goes in that little notch there. Really comfortable. Your thumb goes in this groove. Very good feeling choked up and choked back. I really like it. There's jimping right here. Gives you a little bit of traction. Not the grippiest jimping in the world, but it does provide a little bit of locked in, secure sort of feeling. So let's talk about, well, first of all, we're perfectly centered, and lock up absolutely solid. Awesome. The button does kind of stick out a bit from the surface of the scale. Let's see, compared to the Kaiser, yeah, it's about the same. Maybe even a little bit more than the Kaiser. Usually that bugs me a little bit on this knife, though. I don't know. I didn't even really think about it until right now, so it must not really bother me. Um, yeah, it is what it is. Full stainless steel liners that are coated black, and we have weight relief milled out inside there. Let's talk action. So, this is a button lock. Button locks are notoriously sort of mushy feeling because there's no detent ball to give you that crisp breakaway. Now, it is possible with a button lock to have a very crisp breakaway. Jason just lent me his Protec Malibu, which is widely considered to be the best button lock. And the flipping action on this thing is absolutely incredible. You have a crisp breakaway. So it absolutely is possible. But a lot of these budget button locks haven't been able to achieve that for some reason. The Cormorant here is okay, but it's still kind of mushy feeling. The CJRB Pyrite is a little better, but still, compared to the Malibu, it's weak. It's mushy. The Valkyrie here suffers from that same syndrome, whatever you want to call it, the same problem. It does feel a little bit mushy. But I will say it's pretty reliable. It's not like I'm failing this thing. All the deployment methods work fine. I don't know. There's something about it that is not completely satisfying, though. It might be... It doesn't really make like a pronounced thwack when it locks out. It's just kind of like a soft little like kind of sound. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the slightly lighter feeling detent. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does feel a little bit mushy. And that's, at this point, it's kind of to be expected from, lower end, more budget friendly button locks. So I'm kind of at the point where I'm really trying not to let it bother me anymore. It's just kind of how it is. But man, now that I felt the Malibu, and this was my first time checking out the Malibu. Now that I've felt this, it honestly kind of bugs me even more because, what are they doing in here that's different? And why aren't budget companies, designers, able to do that? Does it cost more money to get a nice stiff detent on a button lock? I don't know. I'm not a folding knife maker. I have no idea. I wish someone would explain it to me, though. However, I am able to look past that for a few reasons. The blade. Absolutely love the blade. The handle. Really comfortable. The overall aesthetic of the knife. I think it looks just badass, dude. Badass. I have a little bit of Viking heritage. I'm into Norse mythology. I love having the Seax blade shape. This kind of reminds me of, if there was a modern day Viking, he would probably carry something similar to this. And I like that. I like the multiple deployment methods. It's fun to fidget with. The thumb studs work pretty good, by the way. Definitely. It's easy to reverse flick it. You can do all the tricks. You can do the over the top, you can do the side thing. You can even slow roll it. The front flipper is visible, sticking out the whole way, so you can keep your thumb on it and slow roll it out. So for those reasons, I think I'm going to be able to look past the kind of weaker detent system here. But, you guys need to be aware of that because I'm reviewing the knife. I need to tell you all about it. The blade steel is 154 cm. I'm totally happy with that. This knife is right around $80, and I think what you're getting for $80 is pretty good. 154 cm, a very fidgety knife. Lots of deployment methods. Ergonomically very good. Choke up spot. Amazing blade. Very thin behind the edge. Button lock. I think this is a good buy. Initially, so when I first unboxed it, I loved it. And then in the next day or two, I started kind of thinking maybe I was going to sell it. And then now that I've had a few days with it, I'm kind of turned back around to loving it again. Maybe I just had to get used to it. I don't know. Maybe it's breaking in a little bit. That's possible too. It really feels fine. It feels fine flipping it. It's just a little. It's a less expensive button lock. So that's how it is. You know what I mean? So overall, I really like it. I'm kind of interested to get another Vosteed model. I would love to get the Nightshade. I still haven't experienced that one. I would love to try out the Raccoon, Thunderbird. I think I really like most of their designs. This new one, the Labrador, not super into aesthetically. I'm sure it's a fine knife, so probably not that one. But the other ones, definitely. This came with a very sharp edge, super duper sharp. I like the knife. I really do. Another interesting detail is, some plunge button locks. The plunge actually is kind of, the notch that it falls into is kind of halfway on the tang like this. Like, see here, you can see that plunge, and you can see where it falls into in the slot in the tang. But others, the plunge actually goes through the whole tang of the blade. So here on the Cormorant, you can't see it. It goes actually, there's a slot, like a half moon slot milled into this tang, and the plunge lock goes through that and into the other side. So to me, that creates a more solid lockup. You have more contact between the tang and that plunge lock rather than it being like halfway like this one. And that's the same case with the Valkyrie here. It's the same as the Cormorant. You can actually see it right there, but you can see that it's never exposed. It goes through the tang here. So that's just kind of interesting detail. I don't think anything like this will fail on you. At least I've never heard of that happening. I don't think it would. But it's kind of cool, just an added kind of security and toughness to the locking mechanism, which I think is cool. So just another little detail. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm definitely keeping it. I think it looks awesome. I think I'm even going to like it more and more as I mess around with it. That was the same thing that happened to me with the Cormorant. I initially wasn't sure about it for the same reasons. It felt kind of mushy. And then I played with it for a while, and I started really liking it. If I'm going to sit on my bed and watch a movie, and I want to grab a knife to play with, I grab the Cormorant like 85% of the time. It's just really fun. It's very fun. And this Valkyrie is going to be the same way. It's the same deployment methods. It's just really fun. It's a very fun knife. It's a badass, wicked looking knife. Very utilitarian blade, extremely slicey and pokey. So I think that's a lot of good things. That's about it. Thanks for watching, folks. Like I said, consider becoming a channel member. And if you can't or don't want to, just like the video and leave me a comment. Tell me if you have a Vosteed yet and which one. And if you're thinking about getting the Valkyrie here, let me know. I'm curious. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.